Yo, in the next update for Dead by Daylight, they are nerfing the flashlights. Now, instead of clicking being an instant response, it's closer to an action where it has to wind up, kind of like the Huntress. They also added a short delay where after you let go, you can't spam the flashlight anymore. So now you can't click faster than, let's say, every 2 seconds. So what's the problem? This sounds great, right? No one can click anymore. Well, flashlights have a lot of unique ways to be used. There's a ton of scenarios where you could say start blinding for a save early, right? And then you'd have to correct yourself because, you know, you're dumb like me and then you just miss a save. These things happen. They really do, because the game's always moving. People are always, you know, moving and doing things. So say you're trying to run around a corner, right? And you don't really have time to go think about this flashlight save timing. It sounds dumb, but these things do happen. You click early, right? And you're like, dang, I was a little bit early. I'm going to let go of the beam for a split second, and then I'm going to click again just to get my timing correctly so I can blind the killer and get the save.
This is a fun update. Oh my god, I tried to click what? Alright, so what is it? Is it gonna be Minecraft? What's the new main game? After seeing that, what's the new main game?
Some players would also use double flashlights and they would blind the killer before they're able to react. These things happen, and they make the flashlights really intuitive to use. Things like these are going to be so much more difficult and make it almost not even worth bringing a flashlight when you're facing a killer that knows what they're doing. If this change goes through in the current state, then flashlights will be way weaker. But that's not all. Flashlights are also commonly used for movement. I know it sounds dumb. It's actually one of the main reasons I actually bring them. Things like clicking into a moonwalk or clicking before you're about to spin a killer will not be possible in the same way that they were back then.
Get hard, Brandon. Good job.
Oh. We need you.
And don't even get me started on stuff like the Sladlinky tech, man. Which is basically where you go around a corner and then you use your flashlight, click and spin around the killer. These things will not be as easy as they were. It just sucks, man. It makes the game more sluggish. I'd really love for Behavior to reconsider these changes, and that's why I'm making this video. So, what can be done? Well, firstly, before anything, if you don't know, the changes were made and noted in the patch notes to counter and assist those who struggle with accessibility and things like epilepsy, for example. I can definitely empathize with those who suffer from it. It sometimes hurts to be on maps like Coldwind, where it's all close to the same blinding yellow color. It's really hard to see auras too sometimes. Some maps like Badham and Haddonfield too, they have flashing lights in the houses where the gens are. So as you would work on a gen, right? The same room you're in, there's flickering lights, and these lights will start to flash more the closer the gen is to being completed. These actually hurt when you're playing late at night. I sometimes have had to look down at the floor to stop my eyes from hurting. And I don't use filters or anything. Imagine people who do. I think a great solution for flashlights and these accessibility issues delve way deeper than just the clicking. It's the effects. If Behavior would make an accessibility setting that changes these small things, they could also change the effects of the flashlight as well to be less intense. Okay, that makes sense, right? What about clicking? People still do it to be toxic. I think Behavior can still keep the cooldown in. They just need to make it so you can use the flashlight faster. Get rid of the Huntress style fade in to holding the flashlight out and letting go of it. Make it slower, but make the cooldown a little bit faster just so you have more time to do things with it. I think if Behavior was to do this, it'd be a win-win for everyone, really. Hopefully these changes don't go to live, as all they do is gonna make the game more sluggish and unresponsive. Like when they originally changed the animations last year. That's really about it. If you have any questions, let me know, or we can talk about it, of course.